Alrighty. Where's the dashboard for all this? Is it actually sending video through? Maybe. I'm not actually sure. But hey. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Yeah, so basically... Oh, that was quick. That was very quick. Hello. I'm not going to pronounce. I'm just going to say what Discord is Omnicorn. How's it going? I'm not going to even attempt to say your YouTube username. I tried once and failed horribly. So we're animating, so what do we need? Is it that you're doing very hacky? That's good. That's very good. Now what are we gonna animate? What are we doing today? The demolition fists, I like them. They're pretty iconic. I think it's the Earth Shaker or Earth Breaker fists. I think they're called, are the actual ones from the main menu. Anyways, so we need to rig it, which is to add the armature. Are these all connected? Yeah, they're all connected. Actually, they can't. They need to all be separate for to connect them. So split, separate by loose parts. So that should all be different pieces. That's good. Now I need to add the armature. Just the bone. I have the single root bone because Unreal's is painful. And then we need the one bone that comes down to here, and then one bone that comes down to here. And that's about it. The bones really are just like one. Yeah, that's how you split. If you've got like two objects that are like separated, you can just split them by like how, like, if they're loose. There's another one you can do, which is you can separate by selection, which will just separate whatever you have selected into its own object, which is a useful one. So hang on, so one problem I foresee is that the default pose for all of this needs to be the default pose. Like they need, because I'm not doing like an idle animation, these need to be resting how they will in game, which is about that. Which is alright. Right, so bone, which is confusing as to where these bloody go. The bone, roughly there. This, roughly there. I mean, it's all relative to the animation, I guess. So these need to... Right, okay, so these need to move over. There we go. Simple. And then see, okay, so I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the sort of multi, like the ones that loop, like the looping melee animations like the fists or the shield arms. We'll need the animation, I guess. Oh, that sucks. Can you not just like manually set it to whatever? Like, can you just manually set it up? Is what I always do, or if it like literally resets from that. Take. Yeah, 480's viewable. That's fine. So we need what we need to do is parent all of these. Armature deform. That is for some reason parent of these. Don't want that. And then so for everything we want to join all of these. Oh, except for all of these are one thing. These two are one thing. If you want to know the keybind for joining objects is Control J. That helps you. There we go. And then weight painting. So that's weight paint. We've got to select this bone. And then make sure it has. There we go. And then do the same for the next chunk. Weight paint. Make sure we're painting this bone. We're painting this part of the mesh to that right bone. This is startlingly quicker now that I've figured out the proper way of doing it. There we go. This. There we go. And so now, if I go into pose mode, yep, that should work quite nicely. Cool, that's good. Now what we're going to do is animate the thing. So we kind of need to start it off halfway. We'd like start the animation off mid swing so that it can actually loop, which might be difficult. Let's see, so we'll sort of have one already mid punch. One mid punch and then one pulling back from a punch, and then just flip them, I guess. Like that, I think. And then have so we'll keyframe all of that. And then what we kind of want is to like basically mirror the first pose here. So like for a punch, and then pull back second one, which is this one. And so what it was like out a little, down, and then in. I'm not sure if that's any good. That's... No, that's terrible. That is... sort of like... I can probably like flip animation, so I'm just gonna focus on animating the one, I guess. And then, yeah, I can probably copy the animation onto the other side, but with like a delay. So for the one, it needs to... So from fully retracted, it needs to... Just like it needs to raise... Just to pull back a bit. And then pull, yeah, then pull out a little. So that pulls out. And then punches forward. Okay, that's a bit better. Then it should return to the original position at the end of the animation. It's a bit quick. Okay, and then so we basically just got to copy this to the other bone, which these shouldn't have any keyframes except the first one. So that's the last frame, so 2019 we'll call it. Okay, that's maybe not, that's not what a punch is supposed to look like. See, it raises that up too much, so I've got to keep the, so for this, up until impact, almost, this bit needs to still be like this. Yeah, it does sort of look like it's fist bumping. I will say that is not exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's definitely, it's just fist bumping. We'll just try again, I guess. We delete all the keyframes. Like, yeah, pretty much. It's okay, so not working. Not working at all. So how the fuck does a punch work? It's like, how does the original? I'm just gonna see if I can like copy the original animation. I'll just pull up Flashpoint. We'll see how the original does it. take inspiration. So I can do hammer hitting. I can't do punching, apparently. Which is great. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. Well, that's just dandy, isn't it? Not a whole lot I can do. My internet's not that good. Jesus, that is ungodly loud. So what do you want? Earth, demolition fists. Nope, whoops. Okay, this is a good one to test it on because they've got demolition fists as well. So it's fairly simple. So what does it do? It goes... So it pulls back and then punches forward. That's what I was going for. It's always super loud. Yep, it is. It's yeah, slow wind up, fast punch. And I think there's less like angular move. There's like less sort of movement than I thought. So if we pull both of these back to sort of the starting position. Back to just normal. These are both in sort of the starting position here. Yeah, it's like a slow wind up and then punch. So we'll pull. Why did they do that? Delete all the keyframes. This is the starting pose. So we want to pull back. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's a bit more like it. And then, yeah, and then just punch forward. So it's basically just extending the arm as far as it'll go. Is more or less what the punch is. Yeah, see, it still doesn't look that good. I will extend this and I'll add like a reset so it's a bit smoother. Duplicate. Okay, this is not good. Why is it? Why is animating so hard? Yeah, it's just a slow wind up. It doesn't look like it's particularly. Maybe it does need to like like chicken wing out before punching. So like on the draw back, it needs to like pull out. And then when it punches in, have this thing keep like rotating a little to sort of maintain rotation. And that's not the worst. It's adjust the timing. I think the reset can be a lot higher because it's sort of there's a slow reset while the next arm punches. So I'll let this extend out a fair bit. I forgot to. Those two need to sync up. Okay, that's actually not terrible. That's not too bad. We've got to figure out how to copy it over to the next. But now I have to Google that. I've got no idea. Here we go. This should.
And then so forth.
Internet tutorials.
I wanted to
Not
copy
fun.
all that information from one side to the other. In order to do that, I'll go back to the other side and select that side. And you'd think it'd be a simple case of just selecting all the keyframes, Control C, and selecting this side and Control Shift V. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So I'll just undo any changes there. Do remember that when you press Control V, it will paste it wherever the playhead on the timeline is. So in my case, I pasted it at 15 frames and the keyframes appeared there. If I want to copy all the information, I need to go to the graph editor. So choose the graph editor, back to the other side, select that side, and select all your channels by double tapping A, and make sure they're all highlighted. Also, do make sure that you haven't got anything hidden in here. So if I was working on the X channel here, in here, and then tap A to select all. So Control C again, with my mouse in the graph editor, or you can go to Key, Copy Keyframes. Now I'll select the other side, and I should be able to press Control Shift V with my mouse in the graph editor, and it will now paste those keyframes. But one thing to be aware of, if there's no keyframes in here, so let's delete.
That seems pretty easy. So we have the graph editor. Graph editor. Just select these two. Control C. Control V. Not exactly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, it's not really working. Okay, there is one way I kind of might be able to do this. Okay, we need to name the bones. Need up arm right one. arm right 2. No, it's lower arm right. It's just lower arm right, upper arm right. Arm left. Lower arm left. And then there should be a constraint, should be a bone constraint. We want this one to copy rotation of up arm left. Yeah, so that should just copy, but I should be able to flip it somehow. Yeah, invert. There we go. Okay, that's not what I want. I just want to invert one axis, which is no Z. Can that not just flip? It should just be able to flip the animation. Just flip it to the other side. It's that. That should be. Offset this. Oh. Well, that's not it. Local space owner orientation. Without completing a math problem. What? 4 plus 8? Is that? Can you not flip? Well, it's not flipping an armature, it's flipping the animation. You know, I don't know why that wouldn't work. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then just copy this for the next one. Nope, it's okay, it worked. It's worked. And it's just got to need local space for up lower arm left. And that should just copy it, and then I should be able to apply this, and then yeah, it works, which is good. And then just offset them so that they're like punching at different they're punching at different rates. Yeah, it alternates which arm punches, which is the tricky bit, which is the tricky thing, which I don't exactly know how that's going to work in Unreal. I'm not particularly sure, because what so if I quickly finish what I was doing here is I offset them, they're both going to have to reset to the first part, to this pose, before before punching again. And so if I want that the sort of continuous thing like it does in the game, like it's sort of got to almost stop and pause the animation instead of just playing the animation. It's got to play it as a loop. Yeah, okay, so anyways, I think if we apply these, then they should appear as actual No? Oh god, how do we do this? It's another one for the internet. Why is it? It's never simple. Okay, if we go back to the graph, oh not the graph editor, the timeline. What we can do, we can see where the keyframes are here, and add a keyframe, and then skip to the next one. Oh, is it gone? Yeah. What does this look like in? What does this look like just in? Oh. Okay, that's flicking the wrong way. That's not. That's. It's the Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. Yeah. See, that's not right. So what have I got? Is this wrong? Is there any others I need to invert? Okay, there we go. That's Hulk smashing, which is about what I want. So if I add a keyframe, I go to here and add a keyframe. And then go to the next spot with a keyframe. And then go to the next spot with a keyframe. And then just get rid of the constraints. It should... Why is that not... God damn it. I had it working at one point. It worked. I did figure out how to do this once. Apply pose as rest pose. Apply selected pose as rest pose. No. Animation. Bake action. No, it's not bake action. Constraints. Is it not in constraints? Copy constraints to selected bones. No. That's not it. So how the hell does this... So if these keyframes don't do anything, and delete them. So how are you supposed to ever like apply them just as keyframes? God, oh, just go away. Oh, it is. Maybe it is bake action. Yeah, it must be bake action. Bake, bake, bake. Bake action. No, that's not done anything. Seems to be what people are saying though, so I'll keep give it another go. Clear constraints. Visual keying. Override current action. There. There we go. So that's good. So now we just need to offset this side. To extend this out. And we'll offset this. So it's the middle. It was 26, so the middle keyframe is 13. I don't know how I can loop. So for this side, we need this half. For this side, we need that half of them to start. What? How many is that? It's 13 to 36. What? What? Oh, hang on. Okay, that's not 13. That's 13. And then so half of these, which is that, I believe. Duplicate and put at the beginning. No. One, two, three, four, five, six. It's all of them. Just move them one forward, I guess. And then so for the other side, oh, great, it didn't sit for that side. Both of these, we want the last half, duplicate. So that can overlap, so that's what's happening. And then for the other side, we want the first 13, duplicate. Over that, 13. And then end it at 38. Does it need like another rotation? Not exactly. Not quite. It seems to like jerk back. It's somewhat working. So it'd have to be. So this side. It's got to return to there. So what's the point of the additional... If I cut that, and then cut that, and then just set this to 25. Oh, that worked! It's worked. Oh my god, it has worked. Oh, that's great. Don't ask how that works. I don't understand that, but whatever. You can export all of this now. We'll export this as, what is it? It's, demolition fists. There we go. See, that doesn't look too bad, actually. That certainly looks like the animation. So we'll go... I guess we can chuck this into Unreal now. And now is just to figure out how the looping will work in Unreal. Once we figure that out, it'll be easier adding all the rest of these parts. Sorry, I've just seen your DM here. I like the design, like what you've got here with the nautical ones. What do you mean by quadruped legs? Is it like four legs? That would be so fun to animate. Yeah, that would certainly be difficult to animate. Here we go. So we'll go bots, parts, arms, demolition fists. We can import them. Failed to import. Failed to create assets. Where's the dope sheet? Action editor. It should just be called hit. Export FBX as demolition fists. Maybe the naming was not. Demolition fists with anim. Export that, and then that should. Oh, for God's sake! Failed to import and failed to create game assets. Please see output log for details. Where's the output log? Multiple routes. That's fine. I can fix that. So the route should be edit. We need Any new sword arms planned? Probably like not planned at the moment. Um, just the whatever's in the game at the moment, but probably at some point there might be a new sword style arm. I think someone modeled one. I can't remember exactly who. Someone modeled one, and it may have been sent in the Discord or in a DM. I'll have to check. But someone did model like a mace. It was like a shield and mace style one, which did look pretty cool. Like like the idea there is pretty solid. So this needs parent to relations parent to this. This needs to parent to bone, and that parent to bone. Yeah, so it was sent on the Discord then, if you remember seeing it. I'll scroll up. I'll see if I can find it. It was no, not in that channel. I swear someone actually made a model for it, or made some sort of model for it. Creative. It might have been in creative. Yeah, they did here. Kingmaster. He's done a couple of models actually for the game that are already in. Yeah, it was this one. It certainly needs a bit of refinement, but it's a good idea at least. Kingmaster did? Oh yeah, he did. Oh no. That was. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, but it's Idurnson. IDURNS. ID. Whatever. That guy. Yeah, he did do the. Yeah, I forgot he did do a couple of those concept ones. I really should just save all of them to like one big file because they're really good. Yeah, it was these that you're thinking of. Omnicorn. It's a great name. The Stick Carrier. That's a good one. Desolation Rockets. I can't read that. Something Void Gun. The Void Gun is sort of like the ASMD plasma rifle. Funnily enough. Here we go. So this should import. Should import all right. There we go. So now the usual laborious set everything up so that it works. We want skeletal mesh. This needs to attach to the arms point. This is demolition fists. Did he? Odin Company. I think they'd be the ones that'd make that sort of parts, at least like that. The Odin Company would probably be the most likely to make those like medieval style ones. Like I can't think of any others that might do it. These are massive. Holy shit. I may have got the scale on these things a little off. It's like the big football shot. It reminds me of those big football shoulders. You know, those big football, soccer. I don't know, rugby. I don't know what the gridiron. Those like big gridiron chest plate things that they'd wear. So that's all right. So okay, so when I need to add that to the select arms. Yeah, select arms. Set visibility of demolition fists. Set them to tree. Cool. And then once the that misscale of the demo fist reminds me of when the lawnmower base was messed up and it was bigger than the entire robot. Yeah, because initially, because what I found is that having each leg part have a different height is a little irritating. So they're all the same height for now, but it just didn't work for the lower ones. So they've got their own custom height, and it like moves the rest of the bot down. Which is like all I have to do is move the body point down, and the rest of it follows. But it keeps them at a not ridiculous scale. Whose idea was it to strap a rocket to a hammer? I think it was done by Cool Explosive Things Inc. Who did? What was that? The rocket hammer. That I remember that. I can't. Oh, was that? That was your idea. What do you mean it got fired shortly after? Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I remember. There's the person that was sacked for the idea. I like that idea. I like the idea for that part actually. Now it's in the garage UI. Arm selection. We need a new part for demolition fists. Or select demolition fists. And then that does the same thing that all the other bloody ones do. Sets the selected part to demolition fist. Not sure. I mean, I don't think that description was ever exactly set in stone. Too hard to put a rocket inside out. They do something like that. I think it was like these like mad Mexican construction workers have like a bullet hammer that's like a nail, like it's like a thing where they smack it down and like a bit of gunpowder like fires the nail in. It's like a bullet hammer. Like I saw some video of these construction workers using it. Is looked pretty insane. But I think that's a real thing, more or less. That's another not bad idea for a arms part. So hopefully this... Holy jeez! Look how big they are! Look how big they are. That's a bit much. That's certainly not exactly the right scale. It's not exactly what I was going for there. Set these to ever so slightly less ridiculous. It goes... Nope. This goes up one. And that'll do for now. I may have to play around with the scale. Who's Senator Armstrong? I don't know who that is. That's a bit better. They're probably still a bit too big, but that'll do for now. I can change that later. I mean, they're supposed to be pretty intimidatingly huge. But, okay, so then the animation for it. Where is it? Attack. Yeah. So the way the animation works, I may need to, like, have a separate... So I've got here for the normal animation part, like the normal way the animation works. I wonder, does the animation apply... Does the damage apply for each hit, or is it each second hit? Okay, it's each hit. So, I'm going to need like a second one of these. So it's like a duplicate one of these, just for the two-handed ones. No, there haven't been drill arms yet. The drill arms are still unmodeled, and because they're not even in. Because the only ones I'm doing at the moment are from the first division of the league levels. So any of... Did I do the drill arms? I thought I'd done all of them. I may have done the drill arms. I'll have to check. I may have forgot. I may have done them and just forgotten. So yeah, the drill arms will be in the next alpha. So it should basically do this again. It should for each hit, I guess, it should like do this twice. So if it's still... So it should check if it's still attacking, and I'm going to set it's attacking. We need a branch. Oh, I thought you were talking about the piston arms. Sorry, the drill arms. Yeah, there's no drill arms. That could be like an interesting one for like the flame type, like damage speed, where they it just constantly deals damage, like constantly drills into them. Or yeah, hang on, are the drill arms the big, like just the upgraded piston arms? No, that's just heavy piston arm. That's heavy piston arms. Is attacking. How do I do this? Like a simple loop. I suppose the simplest one is just to have just do this again. See, is it still attacking? If it is, do this again. But what I have to do is for this, it needs to be half the delay. See, how does this work? So for a slow a slow attack should be close to a second. That's medium. That's slow. Might actually make the turbo hammer now. Go for it. It'd be cool to see. So, okay, so I use this. So that's a weird one. That is certainly a weird. The way this I think needs to work is because the dual ones are twice as fast, but I think hit half as powerfully as the single hit ones will do. So, for example, the Storm Hammer, like if it hits like 100 points of damage every second, the fists will hit it twice as fast, but deal half the damage for like the same DPS. If there's like two fists. I'm not sure if that makes sense to anyone, but is attacking. And so what we need is we basically need to set attack to divided by 2. Float / float. So that should divide by 2. I think that's how it works, because they hit twice as fast. So if there's anything else with like slow, if I get like the Storm Hammers, for example, and then I get one with the what's like a dual one with medium piston arms. So if I have piston arms. So if I've got piston arms, these both should be the exact same. They're both medium, but one of them, the Storm Hammer will hit slower, but the piston arms here will hit faster but deal more damage. So, okay, this was not a good one to test on with like stunning. Yeah, see, so they're hitting much faster, but I think, I would assume at least, weaker. I may have to get one of the guys that knows, is it Fire Red? Him to check whether or not it does that for the dual ones, because he knows how to read that bloody the decompiled script, whether or not it does what I'm thinking it does. But if that's how it works, then this needs to be divided by 2. And obviously the delay needs to be in half. Delay. Get the same, hit delay. There we go. So that should do it. I hope. If not, that'll be a bit irritating. But so we'll play. So we'll have to get this. We'll play animation of Demolition Fists. Play the Demolition Fists animation. Which I may need to. It might be broken like all the animations are. Demolition Fist. So, the Demolition Fists. Where's the animation? Yeah, see, the animation's broken. I got it's enable root motion. I'm happy with how that loops. Like, that's. I cannot believe that actually loops like it should. And so for this, if we just set the stats of it now, we should be able to test this. So, we're going to have to pull up other stats sheet that, what was it that, I can't remember anyone's names. What was it? Machine, that fella. I think it was him, made a big list of stats, some of which I think are incorrect, but hey. Melee, dueling arms. Not dueling arms, Demolition Fists. Where's the Demolition Fists? Should probably reorganize this before it becomes a nightmare. Weight 14. Price 120. Health 120. Range is 100. Speed is no speed bonus. No attack. Oh, attack is 80. So, with any luck, that has worked in the. Oh, I've forgotten something. I forget that. But I forget every time. But the Demolition Fists should. Oh, yeah, they are. They're hitting each other. Yeah, get some sleep. You should probably sleep. Okay, not exactly. Oh, okay, the animation is probably technically too long for it, which I can fix. So what is it? It'll be, what's medium again? Medium 0.8, so in Over the animation, demolition fists, animation, the rate scale. So how long is this? What goes for? Go for 1 second exactly. So it needs to go to 0.08. Which should fix the issue. I believe it should fix the issue. Thank God it's like exactly a second long. No? It's like it thinks, okay, so is it, and also I'll make it to make sure it says it's a medium attack. In attack should be find, arm type and act. Demolition fists is medium. Oh, I might have buggered up the... What I may have done. Yeah, medium is 0.8. I'm not sure what's causing that. Because it should play both, like, the whole animation. What if I set this to exactly... What if I set this so that it's exactly 0.8, because maybe something's getting confused. The animation's not fast enough, that's what's happening. So what is it? How did I calculate it? It was 1 divided by 0.8, it's 1.25. I've got to increase the animation speed by. I think. I would at least hazard a guess at. Because that's what's going on. Because the animation's getting cut off. There we go. It seems to be working actually pretty well. I mean, the only thing that's not that great is that there's the interpolation into it is a bit dodgy. Okay. So I think as well the hit delay for the two-handed ones is going to be slightly different. The hit delay is almost just going to be one and then half the animation in the other half. And then, okay, so yeah, so for the amount of delay, it's basically, it's going to be the animation length halved. Instead of, so it's not, yeah, it's just going to be the animation length halved. So, yeah, that works. And then I wonder if there's an animation setting here to interpolate. It would be nice. So in play animation, there's no way to interpolate. I would have liked there to be. There's no information on that, but that's fine for now, I guess. I think that'll do. The only thing that would need to be fixed is it like jumping to the animation, and there's probably a way to fix that. But that works pretty well. That works almost as like it does in the original game, more or less. Bugs and all. Cool. So on to the next bloody animation. There's only an hour and a half to do that one part. Yippee. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next part. We'll try and get this all done. Or some of it done. And see, some of the animation will be copyable. I don't think all of it will be. Some of the animations I can just copy, but I think for a lot of them, it's not going to work like that. But let's go with Combat Fists. Combat Fists, I think I can copy. It'll just be faster. So I haven't got these rigged, which is what I'm going to have to do now. So we'll rig these. Single bone, like that somewhere in the center. Okay, that's not what I want. I want edit. Edit that somewhere there. And then this heads down to about wherever the rotation point is. Right there. So I'll try and like mimic how the I'll try and mimic how the bones looked in the demolition fists, so that the animation should translate over a bit better. That's not terrible. That'll do. And so the objects split everything, separate by loose parts, and we'll split everything into join them, and then it's everything else. There we go. And now weight paint it, or parent it and weight paint it. To deform. Weight paint. Sign. Same for the next part. Weight paint. Sign. Set the next ones. Weight paint. Sign full weight. The last one. Sign. There we go. So then all of this should work just fine. And then what I think I can do, I import the demolition fists. I believe I can just copy the animation between them. So I get a bone constraint. I want up, right? No, left. Up, low arm left. Up, right. Low arm right. And then so the constraints here, to be able to copy rotation of this armature, and I want to copy up arm left, up arm left. So 25, pause it. Can I move this just back? I don't want to do that. I'll move this. Whatever. I can hide that. Pose mode. Why are they not? Yeah. Pose mode. And then this next one, copy rotation, armature, lower arm left. Yeah, so it's like the same thing, but it'll be played much faster in game. And then this one, copy rotation, armature bone, up arm right. Lower arm right. Yeah, and so this should basically it's about the same animation but played much faster. So that's good. So then we can bake animation. Pose animation, bake action, visual key and clear constraints, override current action, go. And then delete that. And the symbols. And so we're left with this, which works. Export that as an FBX. Oh wait, we'll make sure the root bones and that are working. This relations needs to parent to bone. Parent to bone. Combat fists. There we go. So I'll make a folder for them in here. Import combat fists in. And it works somehow. Enable root motion. Okay, do need to re-import them with the proper normals apparently. So we'll take mesh normals, recalculate outside. Now we'll try. That should fix them. Yep. Cool. So for the speed of these are fast. And so what's the how fast do the fast ones go? Yeah. Fast is 0.533 recurring. So it'll be these animations go for 1 divided by this 1.8 second. That's a very specific number. And so these, yeah, that works. That's pretty good. It's a little clunky, but it's about it's about as best as I can animate. And so if I can add I can add them in now, so I can hide. So that's not visible. Add in skeletal mesh. This will be combat fists, combat fists. Make sure it's all scaled correctly. There we go. Combat fists. Maybe a little big. They are clipping a little. It's not the end of the world. So the combat fists are there. Select the select arms part. We need to set this to actually work for the combat fists. Now we need to set this. We'll set it in. In here, we need to actually have combat fists. Come all the way down here. No, that's not what I want. I want to play. Combat fists anim. Here we go. So this should come all the way back down here. Plug into here. Do all of that bullshit. And then it's just the stats. It's just the stats we're going to do. So we'll move these down. So a bit more room. And this isn't hooked up to anything, so I can delete that. Make a duplicate. There we go, so this will be for the combat fists. Pull up the spreadsheet. Why did Steam just open? Combat fists. We want weight is 6. Price is 70. Health 70. Range. The range of oh, sorry, it's just 100. Sorry. Range 100. 100. Set that. It's not 85. Again, not 85. Cool. Speed, no speed bonus. Attack is 60. It's not bad actually, the attack on them. Alright, so attack. That should be it actually. That they should just be. They should just. No, the main menu. I haven't. Not the main menu. The garage menu. I haven't added the UI for them. Garage. No, UI. Garage. Arm selection. Duplicate that. Select combat fists. There we go. And that should go to combat fists. And did I set this to? Sorry, I need to in here, in the attack part. I need this to be denim length, and for fine arm type act, I need to set combat fists to fast. So there we go, combat fists. They should work, more or less. Seemingly they do. They actually work, that's good. Still don't know why some of them are shifting, but you know. Cool. That's good. Do we do another? I think I'm done for tonight. We'll do more tomorrow. How many have we got left? We've got gun air cannons, artillery. We've done all of that. Circular saw, which will be fairly simple. We've got circular saw, combat knife. Circular saw, combat knife, piston arms. Rock blasters aren't even in yet for some reason. Sword and shield, and shield arms. And that's it. So that's not actually that bad. I might be able to probably be able to take another 2 days at this rate. So that's not too bad. Well, yeah. So yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow, hopefully.